it was another game after a loss that I felt like our guys came ready to play. So hopefully we don't have too many more of those, if any, after losses, that is. But I do feel like our guys got themselves mentally ready to go after we lost at Tennessee. We came out of the gate, starting group got us off to a great start and pushed the lead out. Just informed that Brandon was the third freshman in Alabama history to score 500 points and got there faster than James Hollywood Robinson and Colin Sexton are two pretty good players. So that was an impressive stat that Stephen pulled up for me. So we had some history made tonight, but I thought overall, I mean, we had an issue with our turnovers at Tennessee. You know, most of the team, I mean, other than Javon had 6 assists and 3 turnovers, but other than him with 3, nobody had more than 1 each. Jaden Bradley had 7 assists, no turnovers. Rylan Griffin, 4 assists, no turnovers. So happy with the way we moved the ball and took care of it. It obviously helps to make shots, to get assists, but I think 14 of our 20 made field goals in the first half were assisted. So ball was moving, defense was good. Rebounding, we talked a lot about getting our rebounding short up. I thought we did a good job of that. You know, second chance points was 20-6. So we did a much better job in that area as well. So good win to get us going after the loss to Tennessee.
Yeah, Mark had a pretty quiet day against Tennessee, and then he comes out and hits, I think, 4 threes almost right away. What do you see from him in terms of just his mindset, just the way he came out today, that really helped him start strong?
You know what? We wanted to get him going. I mean, he's been good for us all year. You know, he scored 17 points in less than 19 minutes, 17 points on 10 shots. He was real efficient. You know, he hit that first free. We ran a play to try to get him going out of the gate. It worked. It's always nice when that works out. When you're trying to get a guy going, you get him going. But, you know, I thought he's had some good practices. I think he's worked really hard. He's in the gym working on his game. So I was happy for him. We need him to be good for us. You know, we need some other scoring options, you know, in games. I mean, teams do a good job taking Brandon out. You know, Brandon was able to get going early tonight too, but it's nice to have Sears get back making some shots as well.
Yeah, your team is the first since 1955 to win 3 SEC games by 40 or more points. So, you know, what kind of magic
first is Alabama team or first SEC team?
First SEC team since 1955 to win 3 by 40. So what's the special thing going on here in Coleman Coliseum this season?
You know, I mean, what was we had the LSU game, right? Because the two of them were after losses. I think our guys respond well after losses. That's what I said. I hope we don't have any more that we have to respond like that after a loss. But I do think, you know, we've got some offensive firepower to go along with a really good defensive team. You know, obviously we scored on, what was the final? 108. We scored 108. So people are going to talk about our offense. Our defense is actually ranked ahead of our offense right now in all the efficiency metrics. So I think when you pair together defensive group with some offensive firepower, you know, you've got those games where you kind of go on fire and blow a team out. We've told our group from day one, you know, us making shots should only determine the margin of victory, not whether we win or lose. Like, our defense needs to be good enough to carry us even when we're not making shots. And I feel like for the most part it has. Obviously in SEC play it has, outside of the Tennessee game. But, you know, our defense wasn't quite good enough, but we gave them way too many points off turnovers in that Tennessee game. So I feel like when you combine an explosive offense and a team that's really bought into defense, you end up with a few games like this. I mean, you're not going to shoot 47% from 3 every game out, but when you do, you give yourself a chance to kind of blow a team out. And this team is a good team. I mean, they beat Kentucky, who turned around and beat Tennessee today. So I mean, this is a better Georgia team than the team we lost to last year.
2 questions. Obviously, Nick Pringle probably had his best game in Alabama uniform, 19 points, 12 rebounds. Is this kind of ceiling that you imagined for him when you recruited him? And then second, Pringle also talked about he needs to improve defensively with his drop coverage. He also needs to improve with his free throws. What are some things you kind of saw from his game that he could improve on going forward?
You know, He obviously needs to work on converting his free throws. He needs to work on protecting the rim a little bit better. I mean, you kind of see the highlight blocks, but when you look at our defensive efficiency numbers, we're better off when Charles is in. Charles has a year in the system though, understands it better. He's got a little more size on Nick, but I mean, Nick's activity level, he won the hard hat tonight. He gets to the old boards. You can tell his athleticism. I mean, if he could make a free throw or make the one dunk he missed, he's got a 20-10 night going, which is pretty impressive. With the amount, he just played over 20 minutes, less than 21 minutes. So I'm happy for him because he's a guy that a little frustrated because he wasn't playing as much, not too long ago, and just kept working hard. We actually put him on the scout team maybe a month or so ago to get him more reps. And he's done a great job emulating the other team's bigs and really does a pretty good job scoring on Clowney and Charles and Noah. So the one post move he missed in the first half, I see him score that on Charles quite a lot. So, I can't expect him to score it, but he's a guy that we need to have playing well for us because we need some depth inside, and it's good to see him play well.
Brandon scored double-digit points in all but one of his games. Just how surreal is that kind of consistency from a freshman? I know you talked about him a little bit earlier, but
which one did he not? Oh, I didn't realize that. And we still won that one. So yeah, I mean that's why he's the fastest freshman in Alabama history to get to 500 because he's consistently there every night. I mean, even when teams try to take him out, he finds ways. We get some buckets in transition. He gets the old boards and gets some buckets. He gets fouled. His free throw percentage is high. He's 4 for 4 tonight. So he's got all kinds of different ways to score it. And I think you can try to take him out, and you can do a really good job on him, and he still ends up with 14, 15, 16 on a great defensive night by the opponent. He still ends up finding a way to about 15 points on a regular basis, it seems.
Coach, you mentioned the Vandy game that came after the loss and then tonight's performance that come after a loss. Did you see any similarities in the weeks of preparation, the days of preparation that came into those two games?
Yeah, I think our guys got a way about them, make sure that we're going to come out with a little bit different result. The practices were good. Film sessions were better. We've got a group that owns, what they need to get better at. I mean, we've talked pretty openly and regularly after losses. What was the issue and what do we got to get better at? They own it. You're going to make sure that doesn't pop up again as an issue. And I think for the most part, they've done a pretty good job at it. So that's pretty similar. The Oklahoma one was what's sort of disappointing than the Tennessee one. I thought the Oklahoma one, we just didn't bring the effort we needed to. Tennessee one, we just didn't handle their physicality very well at all and turned the ball over too much. But I thought we came and played pretty hard at Tennessee. We just turned the ball over too much with their physicality.
This was another sellout. Nick Saban was here again, and obviously it's been a year of a pretty big crowds. Just what has it been like to play in front of those, and what sort of energy did they give you tonight?
It's great to have sellouts. It's great for our guys. Shows them that the community is supporting them, that we've got a great fan base that wants to see them succeed. If we take care of business here over the next 3 weeks, hopefully we're playing in Birmingham in the NCAA tournament, can get as big a pro Alabama crowd as we can possibly get up there. So I mean, it's great for our guys. It shows you the level we've got in the program too. Because when my first year here, we weren't getting all these sellouts. Not for a team what's Georgia's record right now in SEC. They're sub 500 in the SEC. We weren't selling those types of games out. So it's great that we're selling those out now.
They came out in zone. You guys hit a bunch of threes to start it off. You as a staff and your team, you kind of like licking your chops when you see a team play zone and when you can get an early lead like that. How important is that, especially at home?
Yeah, we haven't really had much issue with zones. You got one of the best shooters in the country at 6'9". If they're going to try to zone you and let him get freed up, that's usually works to our advantage. It has about every time we've seen it. with as well as we shoot it. Most coaches are a lot more reluctant to let Sears or Brandon or Namari or Quinterly or Rylan, whoever, go down the list, free for a three. So, but teams also have a hard time guarding his man sometimes because we can get in the paint and then you force help and you're giving up, layups or threes. So the zone some ways makes sense, but I think we've done a pretty good job handling it. It was great the way we handled it tonight. I thought, and Texas A&M's only a game behind us. You watch the way they play D, they're going to switch it up, man, zone, different types of zones, all kinds of stuff. So we got to stay aggressive against no matter what type of zone we're going to see.
Coach, I was talking to Sears and Pringle about Dom, but how good was it to watch him make shots? And they said he's really been going hard in practice and finally getting healthy for you.
I mean, I was super happy to see that 3 drop, but he's been playing hard. I mean, if you watched him in the game, I mean, he played 15 minutes, had 8 points, 3 rebounds, didn't miss a field goal, didn't miss a free throw. Like, I mean, this is his last year of college basketball. We brought him here to help us. He's trying to help us. So, I made the point to the team. That was like the one point I really wanted to make was, we've got some other guys that are struggling that, older guys, veteran guys. Like, the best way to get out of a slump is to play really hard. And Dom Welch played really hard in practice, played really hard in the game, goes 4 for 4, 1 for 1 at the line, and contributes to a win. And I think it says a lot about Dom's character. And, that's what we're about. I mean, it's kind of like the whole blue collar mentality. Like, you're struggling, you got to bring it every day. You can't get down on yourself and not bring it, which he hasn't. So I was really proud of him. All right, thanks.